Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another theory test on this lovely day. Bobby's stuck at work, so I've been enjoying the sun.
I can't really go outside when it's like this, so yeah.
No, yeah, bird.
Okay, right, I'll go through your chat. D. Harris first in saying a good evening, Dano and Mark. Good evening, D.
Hey, D.
And then we've got Gillian's Dots who says good evening, Dano and Mark. Good evening, Gillian.
Hey, man.
Gillian's Dots says good evening, D. And we have Sophie in saying hi. Hi, Sophie.
Hey, Sophie.
D. Harris says good evening, Gillian. D. Harris says evening, Sophie. And Gillian says good evening, Sophie.
Mom, get me dad to check his emails, his messages. I've sent him a message about something.
He says, complain when it's warm, complain when it's cold, no pleasing some people. LOL.
I'm not complaining at all.
No, it's me.
Yeah.
I complain when it's cold, but I also, when it's like this, I suffer from very, very severe heat stroke, which just knocks me out.
I suffer from being ginger, which means I burn. So, like I said, I was down the Lotman the other day, maybe Dad and Rob, and I caught the sun on the back of my neck. Yeah, got a bit on the arm, but we just blazed, and the Lotman just basically a heat trap.
Yeah. Yeah, my problem is I suffer from heat stroke very easily. I always have done since I was a kid. And what it tends to do with me, it sends me to sleep.
Right. I share screen.
Why is it important to wear suitable shoes when you're driving? To prevent wear on the pedals. To enable you to adjust your seat. To enable you to walk for assistance if you break down. To maintain control of the pedals.
To maintain control of the pedals.
You're driving with your front fog lights switched on. What should you do if the fog is cleared? Leave them on if other drivers have their lights on. Flash them to warn oncoming traffic that it's foggy. Switch them off as long as visibility remains good. Drive with them on instead of your headlights.
Switch them off as long as visibility is good.
Your vehicle must have valid insurance cover before you can do what? Scrap the vehicle. Tax the vehicle. Sell the vehicle. Make an SORN.
We can tax it. I don't think you need insurance to scrap it. I think that the person that is selling it's got to get insurance. I don't know what SOR stands for, means, so I got tax.
SORN.
The legal speed limit. What should you do if the vehicle behind approaches quickly, flashing its headlights?
SORN means statutory off the road notification. Okay.
So I think I stick to what I said.
You're driving at the legal speed limit. What should you do if the vehicle behind approaches quickly, flashing its headlights? Allow the vehicle to overtake. Maintain your speed to prevent the vehicle from overtaking. Touch the brakes sharply to show your brake lights. Accelerate to make a gap behind you.
See, at the speed limit, which no. I think if you tap your brake, that goes an accident.
Maintain your speed to prevent the vehicle from overtaking.
I think that could cause an accident.
Allow the vehicle to overtake.
Yeah.
Accelerate to make a gap behind you.
But then you could be just chasing the gap. Then allowed to overtake.
What does this sign mean? Wait at the barriers. Give way to farm vehicles. Give way to trams. Wait at the crossroads.
Give way to trams.
What should you do when you're approaching traffic lights that have been green for some time? Brake hard. Be ready to stop. Accelerate hard. Maintain your speed.
Be ready to stop.
What should you do if the vehicle starts reversing off the driveway? Move to the opposite side of the road. Speed up and drive through quickly. Drive through as you have priority. Sound your horn and be prepared to stop.
Right. Don't think you set well.
Move to the opposite side of the road. Speed up and drive through quickly. Drive through as you have priority. Sound your horn and be prepared to stop.
I think you sound your horn, that giving him know that you're there. Because obviously this was blocking his view. Yeah, so I think that one makes more sense.
What's the main hazard you should be aware of when following this cyclist? The cyclist may swerve into the road. The cyclist may get off and push their bicycle. The cyclist may move to the left and dismount. The cyclist may wish to turn right at the end of the road. The cyclist may swerve into the road.
Yeah.
You see a pedestrian carrying a white stick that also has a red band. What does this mean? They're deaf and blind. They're deaf. They have limited mobility. They're blind.
The deaf and blind. What's the blind stick? It's just like a walking stick. And no, one of the other ones I had was one like that. And it was both.
What does this sign mean? No motor vehicles. End of motorway. End of bus lane. No through road.
Right. It's not end of bus lane.
No motor vehicles. End of motorway. No through road.
End of motorway.
When do windscreen pillars cause a serious obstruction to your view? When you're driving on a dual carriageway. When you're driving on a motorway. When you're approaching bends and junctions. When you're approaching a one-way street. When do windscreen pillars cause a serious obstruction to your view?
Human, the meaning, these bits down the side here that joins the roof as well. There's not one in like the centre.
When you're approaching bends and junctions.
That if you're in a car and not,
Yeah.
then that's going to be.
What's the most important reason for having a properly adjusted head restraint? To help you maintain your driving position, to help you relax, to make you more comfortable, to help you avoid neck injury.
You avoid neck injury.
What will affect your vehicle's stopping distance? The condition of the tyres, the speed limit, the street lighting, the time of day,
The condition of the tyres.
what can seriously reduce your ability to concentrate? Drugs, busy roads, weather conditions, tinted windows.
Drugs.
How should the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway be used? How should the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway be used? As an acceleration lane, as a high-speed lane, as a right turn lane, as an overtaking lane.
Overtaken. Millions. Middle lane, this is main lane. And you go to the right hand, need to overtake. Left to go.
What should you do if you have to stop while you're going through a congested tunnel? Pull up very close to the vehicle in front to save space. Ignore any message signs as they're never up to date. Keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front. Make a U-turn and find another route.
Right. So I don't think ignore signs or do a U-turn. So
Keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front. Pull up very close to the vehicle in front to save space. What should you do if you have to stop while you're going through a congested tunnel?
turn on this truck. Keep a safe distance.
The conditions are good and dry. When should you use the 2-second rule? Before restarting the engine after it has stalled. when traffic lights change to green, before using the mirrors signal maneuver routine, when checking your gap from the vehicle in front.
When checking the gap.
What does this sign mean? Turn left ahead. No through road. Give way. T junction.
T junction.
You're towing a trailer along a 3-lane motorway. When may you use the right-hand lane? When there's slow-moving traffic. When there are lane closures. When large vehicles are in the left and centre lanes. When you can maintain a high speed.
Oh. Right.
When there's slow-moving traffic. When large vehicles are in the left and centre lanes. When there are lane closures. When you can maintain a high speed.
When there's large vehicles in other lanes.
What's the first thing you must do if you have a collision while you're driving your car? Call the emergency services. Call your insurance company. Stop only if someone waves at you. Stop at the scene of the incident.
Stop at the scene of the incident.
You're travelling in the left-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway. How should you react to traffic joining from a slip road? Maintain a steady speed. Adjust your speed or change lane if you can do so safely. Switch on your hazard warning lights. Increase your speed to ensure they join behind you.
Obviously, not hazard warning lights.
Maintain a steady speed.
Yeah.
Adjust your speed or change lane if you can do so safely.
Yeah.
Increase your speed to ensure they join behind you.
I don't think it's not one.
Adjust your speed or change lane if you can do so safely. Maintain a steady speed. When should you use the right-hand lane of a 3-lane dual carriageway? When you're overtaking only. When you're overtaking or turning right. When you're using cruise control. When you're turning right only.
Now, when you overtake or turning right.
What requires extra care when you're driving or riding in windy conditions? Using the brakes, turning into a narrow road, moving off on a hill, passing pedal cyclists. What requires extra care when you're driving or riding in windy conditions?
Passing pedal.
Passing pedal cyclists. You're approaching a mini roundabout. What should you do if a long vehicle in front signals left but positions over to the right? Follow the same course as the lorry. Sound your horn. Keep well back. Overtake on the left.
Keep well back.
For how long is an MOT certificate normally valid? 1 year after the date it was issued. 10,000 miles. 30,000 miles. 3 years after the date it was issued.
Right. Obviously, I don't think it's anything to do with miles. I think it's every year.
What should you do when you're unsure whether it's safe to reverse your vehicle? Get out and check. Reverse slowly. Sound your horn. Rev your engine.
Get out and check.
What should you do if you're towing a trailer and it starts to swing from side to side? Let go of the steering wheel and let it correct itself. Accelerate until it stabilizes. Brake hard and hold the pedal down. Ease off the accelerator to reduce your speed.
Right. So I think taking your hands off the wheel, you've lost control of it. I don't think it's that one.
Accelerate until it stabilizes.
Not going to go faster, couldn't cause the jack end.
Brake hard and hold the pedal down.
And that could go make it go in the back of it.
Ease off the accelerator to reduce your speed.
Yeah, that one makes more sense.
Why is it important to make full use of the slip road as you join a motorway? To allow you to fit safely into the traffic flow in the left-hand lane. To allow you direct access to the overtaking lanes. Because there is space available to turn round if you need to. Because you can continue on the hard shoulder. To allow you to fit safely into the traffic flow in the left-hand lane.
Yeah.
What does this sign mean? No overtaking. No motor vehicles. You have priority. Two-way traffic. No overtaking. No motor vehicles.
No, I think that would have a line going through it.
Two-way traffic.
I think there are two-way traffic hours. I think it's you
have priority.
You have priority.
What should you do before starting a journey in foggy weather? Reduce your tyre pressures. Allow more time. Wear a high visibility jacket. Have a caffeinated drink.
Allow more time.
You want to reverse into a side road. What should you do if you aren't sure that the area behind your car is clear? Get out and check. Look through the rear window only. Check the mirrors only. Carry on, assuming it's clear.
You come from a main road onto a slip road.
You want to reverse into a side road. What should you do if you aren't sure that the area behind your car is clear? Look through the rear window only.
It look through window only. We could get out. Depends how busy the road is.
What does this sign mean? Turn left for ferry terminal. Turn left for parking area. No through road on the left. No entry for traffic turning left.
Well, no through road and no entry. That's just the same. But no through road.
What makes your tyres illegal? If they're of different makes, if they have different tread patterns, if they were bought second-hand, if they have any large, deep cuts in the sidewall.
Yep.
This junction, controlled by traffic lights, has a marked area between two stop lines. What's this for? To allow taxis to position in front of other traffic, to allow cyclists and pedestrians to cross the road together. To allow cyclists to position in front of other traffic, to allow people with disabilities to cross the road.
Allow cyclists in front of the traffic.
You're invited to a pub lunch. What should you do if you know that you'll have to drive in the evening? Eat a hot meal with your alcoholic drinks. Don't drink any alcohol at all. Have some milk before drinking alcohol. Avoid mixing your alcoholic drink.
Do not drink.
A cycle lane marked by a solid white line is in operation. What does this mean for car drivers? They mustn't drive along the lane. They may park in the lane. They may use the lane when necessary. They may drive in the lane at any time. They mustn't drive along the lane.
Yeah.
A police car is following you. What should you do if the police officer flashes the headlights and points to the left? Move over to the left. Stop immediately. Pull up on the left. Turn left at the next junction.
Pull up on the left.
Which type of vehicle should you be ready to give way to as you approach this bridge? Buses, bicycles, cars, motorcycles.
A bus.
Which sign shows that a tanker is carrying dangerous goods?
Large vehicle. A.
What's the purpose of a catalytic converter? To reduce harmful exhaust gases, to reduce fuel consumption, to reduce engine wear, to reduce the risk of fire.
Exhaust fumes.
What can people who live or work in towns and cities do to help reduce urban pollution levels? Drive short journeys, walk or cycle, over-rev in a low gear, drive more quickly.
Take a little walk.
What does this sign mean? End of controlled parking zone. End of traffic calming zone. No through road. Free parking zone ends.
There's no parking, no through road. No.
End of traffic calming zone. End of controlled parking zone.
End of through.
What does this sign mean? A route for pedestrians only. A route for pedestrians and cyclists. A route for cyclists only. No route for pedestrians and cyclists.
Cyclists and pedestrians.
What does this sign mean? Cyclists must dismount. Cycle route ahead. Cycles are not allowed. Cycle in single file.
Take a route ahead.
What colour are the reflective studs along the left-hand edge of the motorway? Green, amber, red, white.
On the left. Amber. Red. Red. Green.
You decide to visit your friend who lives about 20 miles away. The journey will take you on various roads, including country lanes and A roads. You have been there before, so you think you know the way. You also have a mobile phone with you, so you will be able to ring for directions if you get lost. During the journey, you go the wrong way and need to turn around. Later on, you decide to ring your friend to make sure you're still traveling in the right direction. To turn around after going the wrong way, you decide to make a U-turn in the road. Before doing this, what should you do? Give an arm signal as well as using the indicators. Signal so that other road users can slow down for you. Select a higher gear than normal. Look over your shoulder for a final check. Signal so that other road users can slow down for you.
What should you do as you approach this bridge? Change gear. Move to the right. Slow down. Keep to 30 miles per hour.
Slow down.
During your journey, you ring your friend. What is the safest way for you to use your mobile phone? Travel slowly on a quiet road. Use hands-free equipment. Find a suitable place to stop. Direct your call through the operator.
Your place to pull up.
You are traveling along a country road. A horse and a rider are approaching. What should you do? Flash your headlights.
No, it's for the horse.
Increase your speed.
No.
Sound your horn. Go slowly past.
Go slowly past.
Near the end of your journey, you come to a pedestrian crossing with pedestrians who are hesitating to cross. Why should you never wave people to cross at pedestrian crossings? It is safer to carry on. There may be another vehicle coming. They may be ready to cross. They may not be looking.
There may be another vehicle coming.
Oh.
Okay, really well done tonight, Dano. So, right, 19. So you're towing a trailer along a 3-lane motorway. When may you use the right-hand lane? You really shouldn't be overtaking with a trailer. So when there are lane closures, so if the left lane was closed.
Right.
Okay. 29. What does this sign mean? Priority is a big arrow and a little arrow, remember?
Yeah.
So this is no overtaking. 31. You want to reverse into a side road. What should you do if you ain't sure the area behind you is clear? You almost had it.
Yeah, I know.
Get out and check.
And one of them before that was kind of thing with getting, but then what I hesitated because I'm thinking you're on the main road and you're coming to a side street, so that road could be busy. So what? So could you get out?
Yeah. So you actually shouldn't be looking through the rear view window only anyway when you're doing that maneuver, because you need to be checking all around you and everything. Yeah. So yeah, get out and check. 42 is the next one. What does this sign mean? End of control parking zone. So that would be a clearway at the end of one of them to say that it's end of restricted parking zone. And then finally, 46, to turn around after going the wrong way, you decide to make a U-turn in the road. Before doing this, what should you do? Look over your shoulder for a final check. Yeah. It's what we used to call the lifesaver check. And it's just one quick check over your shoulder, make sure nothing is there that is going to cause a problem, and then carry out the maneuver.
Yeah.
So it's what we call a lifesaver check, because it can save a life. Okay, end review. But a pass is a pass.
Yep.
A pass is a pass. So well done. Okay, I'll catch up with this catch up with this chat, sorry. So Sophie says, hi Dee, hi Gillian, hi Mark, hi Dano. So hi Sophie.
Hey.
Dee Harris says, my big lad, one of the daughters, Ginger, tried falling asleep at the pool, waking up and taking off sunglasses, white eyes. So why are we not on screen here? There we go. Sophie says, I suffer from idiotitis. I do sometimes. Then says, turn them off, drive the car, and then I'm off to the gym. Okay, have fun at the gym. Gillian's dot says, very well done. Keep up the good work. Okay. And D. Harris says, heck of a score tonight. Well done, young fella. And there we go. Let me do that. There we go.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yeah, well done. Pass is a pass.
Yeah.
Notice you were taking your time tonight, which was great. You weren't rushing through them. So, obviously, taking your time is making you think a bit more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it. Wow. All done.
And some of them where I was hesitated, like going, none of them come up that got long. It's like there was some that I was going, I've got that one. I know I've got that one wrong, but it's the only one that I could think of that could be.
Yeah. So you're trying to logically work them out, which is great. Okay, that's it. So yeah, well done tonight. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one whenever that is, because I haven't got a clue. Oh, hang on. D says, a good night both until next time.
Yeah, Nate. So I'm not off now until Wednesday, but you're busy Wednesday anyway. So we can do Thursday.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So next Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Right. Okay.
All right. So thank everybody for watching, and see you on the next one. There you go. Okay. Boat.
It's too warm.